Travis Wayne Goodsell. So the history of the kings and queens of Europe, when they went around exploring and then conquering and colonizing, involves a list of practices. They would identify a culture native to a particular land that they'd uncover. They would enslave them. They would become slaves to the kings and queens and those involved, and would rob them. Any treasures that were found, any cultural items of value would be stolen from the people, and any resistance would be met with murder if they refused to be in slavery. And they were also taught Christianity, kind of forced. The native religion was considered wrong, and they were forced to learn Christianity and were forced to be baptized as a Christian. This is the common practice of the kings and queens of Europe when they were going around conquering the world. And so the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you know this was coming. You knew. This is my channel. Are involved in similar practices to that of the colonization of America. And if you forgot, our forefathers rebelled against the oppression of King George. The Declaration of Independence listed a whole list of grievances that were intolerable to endure any longer, and thus the rebellion. There we go. And so America, even though it took time to do away with slavery and the similar British practices, it was intended to create a melding pot, not melting pot, a melding pot, in which people from all over the world would come to America and become one nation, one culture, and not one religion, because they knew that was too much of a hot topic. But when you understand that religions are based on a dogmatic belief, shall we say fraud, and abusive basis, Christianity, Islam are all based on creation of bigotry, racism, and violence. So it's not a religion of love, as scriptures indicate they're supposed to be. And so, yeah, when you see religions being the ones to go into an enslaved, robbed, murdered, oppressed, suppressed, depressed culture, and forcing Christianity upon them and forcing them to be baptized, it continues the abuses of a monarchy. And as religions seek to restore Jesus' kingdom, how are you going to do that? Jesus isn't real. So you're going to have to take matters into your own hands to overthrow governments in order to restore Jesus' kingdom. Right, President Nelson? And so yes, if you pay attention to the church news like I do, you will see what the great and abominable church is up to. And you will recognize, because you know the Book of Mormon inside and out, and have learned how to apply its lessons in your daily life, as you give rote prayers for, so that you can identify when Elder Cook tells saints in Zambia 4 things the Savior wants you to do. The love of God distills upon India in Elder Uchtdorf's ministry. Elder and Sister Renlund visit San Pedro Sula, Honduras. And Elder Cook again, he's doing the African tour, invites saints in Madagascar to focus on Jesus. Now, so I wonder if he met the penguins. The Madagascar penguins, the cartoon. If I have to explain it, it's not a joke. So, yeah, you can see that the church is heavily involved in forcing Mormonism upon those in third world countries who are suffering, who are impoverished, who are not being helped out of poverty and made to blossom as a rose. Oh, that was supposed to be the native Indians of America. Yeah, well, the church has the policy of they need to pull themselves by their own bootstraps. And so they are responsible for fulfilling the prophecy, and if they don't fulfill the prophecy, it's on them. That's the church's position. And another thing with these third world countries of the kings and queens of England, they're still third world countries. Despite England and other European nations who did the conquering and enslaving and murdering, they didn't help the people elevate out of poverty to make them, you know, a modern Britain, modern England, or modern France, or Spain, or Germany even. Nobody helped these people. They were exploited, used, and abused, and left in poverty. And, of course, they use the same excuse that the church uses. It's their fault. You know, they're heathens. They can't be educated. And so they need to pull themselves by their own bootstraps, and they already know they can't because people need assistance. And so, yes, Africa has been suffering greatly for the past several years, if not decades. But more specifically, there's climate change that's having a drastic effect on Africa more recently, as the church has been putting out news report after news report of how they're helping Africans. Oh, we gave them, you know, this new technology. Oh, we're helping. And I've gone over with you, the church doesn't do any of that. The church gets donations. They give a portion of those donations to an organization, not directly to the homeless, because the church will not help the homeless. The church will not help the poor. And then those organizations are supposed to trickle it down. Reagan economics, which is a failed system of economy that is well known and established as only helping corporations. And so the church also makes a profit off of this, even though they're giving a portion to these organizations, because there's tithing fraud for any organization that involves Mormons who have to pay tithing back to the church. But the church also makes business deals with these charities. So Saudi Arabia Princess, for example, when she came to the church, No, it was about a business deal. She confessed to it. Church wouldn't confess to it. Oh, we were talking to her about our shared beliefs, and oh, it was so nice. No, you're making a business deal with Saudi Arabia, the enemy of America. They just cover up and lie because it's not faith promoting. Oh, just like the SEC that they got busted for. Well, we didn't want to tell the Mormons and make it public because it would give the church a bad name. Yeah, because you're not true. You can't do good. And so, yes, the church is exactly following the same exact pattern of the abuse of human violation rights of the kings and queens of old Europe. Refusing to help the poor, to pull them out of poverty. Because all of these areas, they're still in poverty. There are Mormons there, and they're still in poverty. And then you have these rich white guys at the head of the church coming to see them, and their only intention is to make them feel good. We're prophets of Jesus. Look at us. We're here. Now pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps. You're wicked. You need more faith in your life to make yourself prosperous like us. When they became rich as a church, because people give them stuff. They're panhandlers, politicians running for office. They're not doing any bit of work to earn what they get. And then they're criminal on top of that, violating the laws of the countries that they are in. So isn't that great? So yeah, there is no excuse from any Mormon to justify the church is true. You think the church is still true, you're in denial, you're in la-la land as a crazy person, or you are pure evil, or you just aren't studying the church. You're dumb.